The New England Patriots quietly signed this potential dark horse. Let's jump into it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots. On the daily, pushing out Patriots content for people like you who love the New England Patriots. We're talking rumors, insights, analysis. Even this YouTube channel, we are looking for offensive tackles who are willing and able to play the offensive line for the New England Patriots. Lord knows we need you. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, comment below. Today, what we're going to be talking about are some additions to the 53-man roster, as well as the practice squad, not yet full with its 16 players, but we're going to talk about the recent adds and what they can add to the Patriots organization. As well, we're going to be talking Drake Maye and what he had to say about Jacoby Brissett getting the starting job. So let's jump right into it. So, potential dark horse for the New England Patriots. They signed, in a smart move off waiver wires, 2 offensive tackles. First, they got Zach Thomas. He was for the Rams. Solid player. You know, obviously you want depth when it comes to the offensive line position, any position. And so he should add a little value when it comes to depth, as well as Dimitri Jacobs. So Demontre Jacobs. My fault. So Demontre, this is a very interesting one, and this is our dark horse right here. And the reason I say that is because I actually, have a buddy who is a huge Broncos fan. He's from the Denver area. So he was telling me, shot me a text, hey, did you just see that the Patriots picked up Jacobs? And I was like, yeah, okay, so? And he was like, all right, go read about him. You'll be surprised. I'm really bummed that we weren't able to sign him to our practice squad. So apparently during training camp, there was multiple times that they believed that, I believe that offensive line coach's name is Strife. We'll see it in here somewhere. But anyways, he came out and said, hey, there's potential that Jacobs could vie for a starting position, definitely a roster spot. But at the tackle spot, they have their depth, they have the positions they want. So it was one of those things that they had to cut Jacobs from the 53-man roster. He didn't make it, but their hopes were to ultimately sign him to the practice squad because he is a young talent. He's 6'6", 315, has that length, has that size, and has the raw talent to develop into a great offensive tackle in the NFL. Either playing the left side or the right side, coming from South Florida, before that transferring out of Grambling State. And so when it comes down to it, the Broncos were bummed that they weren't able to re-sign him to the practice squad. And we know on the practice squad side of it, you never know. It could be a week in, and guess what? You're signed to the active roster. So it's a huge pickup, I believe, for the Patriots. Now, is it possible that Jacobs ends up on our practice squad by before week 1? Yeah, that's a possibility. But again, that is still a smart move. Picking him up, seeing the potential in him, especially with our offensive line that is literally screaming SOS, shooting flares into the air. Again, if you are an able-bodied offensive tackle that has ability, if you are a man that is 6'4" and over 300 pounds, the Patriots are looking for you. And you're probably like, me? Yes, we'll take just about anyone. Gosh. And so when it comes down to it, he is still going to be, if he makes the 53-man roster going into the season and he's not put on the practice squad, what is going to happen with Jacobs is he's probably going to be that third-string tackle. So he's going to be behind, Lowe, Okorafor, Nwenu, and Wallace. Chances are that is going to be, he's going to kind of be that third tier. Now, again, we've talked about this before. Nwenu is more of a true guard. So we need to get someone who's traditionally better at tackle at that position to put Nwenu at a spot where we saw in the last game our guards pulling and playing in there. Robinson, City So was not ideal at times. So Nwenu is our best guard that we have on the team. He needs to be at the guard position. So again, we're going to see how that all turns out. But again, Jacobs, awesome pickup. And so great to see that the Patriots and Elliott Wolf, again, when I was looking at these pickups, I was like, okay, it looks all right. Nothing crazy. Strife, there's the name. Perfect. See, I know my offensive line coaches in the NFL. Come on, guys. And so Elliott Wolf, when he picked up these guys off waiver wire, I was just like, that was my thought. Looked into it deeper. gave me a little more hope, got me a little excited, especially with this Jacobs signing. Of all the signings, I thought that was one of the biggest ones. Now we jump into the depth chart as well. We look down at middle linebacker Curtis Jacobs. He was also picked up off the waiver wire. I think that's going to be a good move as well. He's incredibly athletic, and so we'll see what happens when it comes to if he makes that 53-man roster, if things change. As well, the other tackle, Zach Thomas, you can see right here, number 68, already at the second-string guard position. And what is wild to think is Robinson, the rookie at right guard, plan on there being challenges, obviously, for him. And hopefully he can hold down and mature a lot and learn a lot and develop at that position. But again, if you watched him in the Commanders games, he had some hiccups. Again, he's young. He's a rookie. We will see how it goes coming out of Texas A&M. But Zach Thomas literally coming in, being signed, and hey, bud, you're second string, so have at it. And then you see over here Jacobs behind a Okorafor and Lowe, so we will see what happens at that position. Again, something I'm optimistic that they will find the right pieces for this offensive line, and they will make it work. They will make it work. And so, again, comment below, what do you think about these waiver wire signings? Does Jacobs, do you think, hey, he has potential to develop and surprise us? Again, I'm on the more optimistic side. Comment below, tell me what you think. And as well, we know going into the draft next year, the number one priority is offensive tackle, left tackle. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there and how they address that. So jumping into the practice squad. So I actually had an error in the show yesterday. If you watched that, I said that I believe there was 12 practice squad spots. There's now 16. The international spot does not count towards that, so technically you can have 17. So Russell, if you remember, we talked about, where's he at? He's somewhere. Here we go. Russell, the defensive end, rugby player from Australia, does not count towards the total. We go down the list. We talked about a lot of these guys. A couple add-ons. You have Tristan Hill jumped on there, defensive tackle. Had some promising moments in the preseason, so awesome to see that he jumped on the practice squad. And then there was Hudson, Carvin, and one other lineman. I can't find him. Oh, Michael Jordan, but he was on the roster during the preseason. But all of those guys, it's very interesting, can switch between center and guard. So very versatile. Now, I know a lot of times, anywhere in the workforce, you want to be able to have a bunch of different skills so you are marketable, so people want you. Hey, I can do this and I can do this. So it's good to see on the practice squad there's multiple people that can play guard and center. We saw Leverett have a lot of hiccups against the Commanders, so it's good to know that there's some backups and plenty of them. Isaiah Bolden, possibly one of the fastest, if not the fastest guy on the team. Probably not the fastest, but I would definitely say top 5, top 3. Good to see that he was able to jump onto the practice squad as well. Very talented cornerback as well as return man. So interesting that they grabbed him and threw him there. Jalen Reagor, this one doesn't surprise me. 25-year-old receiver. Again, more of a return specialist. Now that drops down the wide receivers down to only 6 on the active roster. Remember, Kendrick Bourne will be coming back eventually, so that'll make it probably 7, and they'll probably, I would assume, keep it like that, if not throw someone else on the practice squad. It will be interesting to see. But besides that, Brevin Allen, defensive end. Brevin Allen is coming from, I believe, the Chargers. No, Packers. Coming from the Packers. Big size, very talented, played FCS football, 4-year starter. And so has, again, when you look at this practice squad, it's the potential you see. The potential you see, the potential you see. So, hey, is it able to be developed? And then, obviously, some of these guys, hold on. Woo! Excuse me, usually come in pairs. Hold on. Not coming. All right, so anyways, you see some of these guys like, hey, we know what they can give us when it comes to a little more depth in case we come to a situation where someone gets hurt. We got to bring them up to the active roster. But then you have a lot of these guys that are just that developmental talent that, hey, they got potential. They could make the 53-man roster at some point. And so We'll see how that goes. Again, there's still 4 spots being filled. It will be interesting if they take Chad Ryland and put him on the practice squad. He is still sitting there. He is no one has picked him up, so it'll be interesting to see if they try to sign a kicker to that practice squad, and I would assume it'd be Ryland. But again, who knows? Maybe they have just completely moved on after Sly won that battle. So next up, Drake Maye not getting the starting job. I know a lot of us, that's what we wanted to see. We were interested in seeing that, but we know Gerard Mayo is playing it safe. Very safe in his first season, saying, hey, we're going to trot out the veteran, see how he plays, because think of it vice versa, and I do understand this. Think of it vice versa. You send out Drake Maye, he doesn't do well, then you got to replace him with Jacoby. That doesn't look. I get that. I understand that the visual of that does not look great. So especially with Maye being the future of your franchise. So I understand that. Again, I think Maye's better. He has a better ceiling. He looks better in the pocket. I feel like he has more fight in him. So obviously here he says, I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, but like he's competitive and he wants that starting job. So that's good to see. He's definitely disappointed. Come on now, let's be real. So that being said, comment below what do you think about Jacobs' offensive tackle pickup and maybe any of the other pickups, anyone on the practice squad, and your thoughts on what Drake Maye had to say. He's definitely disappointed. And what are you looking forward to as week 1 approaches? Comment below. I appreciate you guys. This is Sports Talk Patriots. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. You guys rock. Peace.